Hey guys, this is Paul Akunde. Welcome to a very interesting training tutorial on PowerPoint. So today's training is going to be a very special one. We'll be looking at how we can start creating highly engaging marketing videos in PowerPoint using Voiceover script. I'll be using the PowerPoint version 2016 for this particular training tutorial. And of course, the topic we are going to cover is how you can start creating highly engaging PowerPoint videos using Voiceover script, and of course with a good background sound. So let's go over some of the advantages of using Voiceover script in your marketing videos. The first and the most important one is Voiceover script. They help you to tell a story about your product or brand. I mean, you must have seen a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of brands using videos to sell their product and services. So having a voiceover, talk to that particular audience, speak about your brand or speak about a particular product, tend to increase product and conversion rate or create better awareness for your brand. So that's one of the advantage. The second is using a voiceover for your marketing videos, tend to increase the level of engagement of your videos. That's the number two. Then the number three is they make selling your product and services more effective, because the viewer that is actually watching your video tend to absorb the information better, and they tend to understand what the product is all about. So and of course you can use all kinds of calls to action and various type of scarcity in your marketing videos. So having a voiceover speak about your brand, give them that call to action, tend to help you to sell your product more effectively. So the last thing is these days voiceover pretty much the standard practice into this direct response marketing. It is very unlikely that you find a marketing video on YouTube or on any website without a voiceover. So this is pretty much the standard for creating highly engaging videos that actually help you to sell your product and services effectively online. So for this particular training, I'll keep everything straight to the point and I'll make it simple for you to understand. So basically, the reason why I'm creating this video is because I received a request from one of my customers that to create this particular training where they can use voiceover script in PowerPoint. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about this particular thing because most people don't realize that using voiceover in PowerPoint is actually possible. Most people think if you have complex software like Camtasia or After Effects, those are the kind of software that you can easily use voiceover. But believe me, if you have your PowerPoint, you can easily create marketing videos and use voiceover scripts and with a good background sound, and I'll be showing you how to do it in this particular training tutorial. So for this tutorial, I'll be using 5 slides to demonstrate the process. So but you get the idea and you should be able to to implement the process without any problem. Let's go over the prerequisite for this particular training tutorial. First, you need to get a voiceover script ready, and I will recommend you get a new software that was just released recently, which is called Synthesys. With Synthesys, you can actually get real human voiceover, because voiceover scripts are kind of expensive. If you go on Fiverr and you try to get a voice talent to create a voiceover script for you, they can charge you anything from $50 to $200 per voiceover script. So but with Synthesys, you can just type in your text and the software will convert the voiceover script into a real human voiceover. So that's the first prerequisite. The second is you need to have your background sound with the exact duration of your video. Third thing that you need to have in place is you need to plan your slides and timing from your voiceover script. So let's go over the steps that you need to take. So first and foremost, let me show you what I have here. So I have my PowerPoint slides, which I've actually prepared ahead of time, and then I have my background sound, and then I have my voiceover script. So the first thing you need to do is you need to plan your slides using the voiceover script. So I'm going to play this voiceover script for you to listen to so that you understand what I'm saying. So let me play it for you.
Welcome to something new and refreshing for a change. It's Pro Studio FX. Let me tell you all about it. First of all, mark down the date and be ready because we have a lot in store for you and we absolutely don't want you to miss out on this promotion.
So that is the voiceover script, and of course this is the background sound. So what you need to do, the first thing you need to do is to plan the script and your slides ahead of time. So let me go to PowerPoint now and show you what I mean. So this is my PowerPoint slide. It's actually 20 slides in total, and you can see I've actually planned the slides ahead of time. So all you need to do is come here, play your voiceover script. You play the voiceover script, and then you take maybe your maybe a paper and biro, plan the slides after listening to the voiceover script. So when I listen to the voiceover script, I planned the slides in such a way that I now have 20 slides. So you need to create the design ahead of time. After you need to listen to the voiceover script, you listen to the MP3 file, and then you plan your slides. So after listening to the voiceover script, I plan my slides, and I now have about 20 slides. You can see that I've planned the slides based on the narration from the voiceover script. So once you have the slides planned out, again, what you need to do is just to play the voiceover script and then determine how you want to split the slides based on the narration from the voiceover script. So once you have that, you come into PowerPoint, create all the slides, create all the designs, and then once that is done, then you can now start applying timing to your voiceover. So this is what I mean by that. Let's go back to the training document. So after planning my voiceover script and of course creating the design slides, this is what I have. So I planned everything to 20 slides, and you can see the timing. So planning and timing. So slide 1 is going to be from 0 seconds to 6 seconds. That will be my first slide. So the first slide is this: welcome to something new and refreshing. Then I have the Pro Studio FX logo. Let's go back to the document again. So this particular slide is going to take 6 seconds. Then you move to the next slide, so which will start from 7 seconds to 14 seconds. So this particular slide is going to last for 7 seconds. So again, you need to listen to the voiceover script and then plan all the slides. You need to look at the timing. So from 0 to 6 seconds, I have my first slide. From the 7th seconds to the 14th seconds, I have my second slide. Then from the 15th seconds to the 34th seconds, I have my third slide, and then and so on and so forth. So that is the way you plan the slide, and then using the voiceover script. And that is what I was able to do. And then after listening to the voiceover script, I plan the slide, and I have all these slides. So I have 20 of them. So that is the first thing you need to do. So once you've done that, the next step you need to do now is to now go into PowerPoint. You go to the first slide. Let me try to bring this down. So this is the first slide. I'm going to drag my voiceover script and my background sound. I'm going to drag it into the work area. So this is my voiceover script. I'll drag it and drop it. So this is my voiceover script. Let me put it here. So once you have that inside PowerPoint, the next thing you need to do, you come to the format bar here, the playback, and then you click on this play in background. When you click on play in background, it's going to play the voiceover script across the entire background. That's it, sorry, across the entire slide. So from slide 1 to slide 20. So this is the voiceover script, and then it will start automatically. So what I like to do is to open the animation tab, animation pane, and then I see what is happening here. So I have my voiceover script. It's going to start from 0 second. So let me close that. So that's my voiceover script. Then the next thing, I'm going to bring in my background sound. So this is my background sound. I'll drag it and drop it on the first slide. So this is my background sound. Again, what you want to do again, you want to play the background sound across the entire slide. You click on play in background. So what I like to do with the background sound is I like to edit the background sound just to reduce the volume of the background sound. So I want my voiceover script to be the highest volume, but the background sound I want to give it a lower volume. So I come all the way to volume here under the playback tab here, click on the volume, and then you set it on low. So the background sound is just going to play on the background, while the voiceover script is going to have the higher pitch. You can hear the voiceover script and then you hear the background sound just a little bit. It won't be as high as the voiceover script. So I can also adjust this and set it. Okay, it's actually on high here, so which is good. So we have our background sound and we have our voiceover script all added into PowerPoint. So now the next thing is you come back into your slides planning and timing. So after planning the slide, the first slide is going to last for 6 seconds. So after 6 seconds, I want the the animation, or of course I want the video to move to the next slide, or you want to animate from the first slide and you want it to move into the next slide. So because you can see this first slide is 6 seconds, which is 6 minus 0, 6 seconds. Second slide is 7 seconds, which is just 14 minus 7, that's 7 seconds. And then slide 3 is 19 seconds, which is just 34 minus 15. That will give us 19 seconds. You repeat the same process for the entire slides. So let's go into PowerPoint now, so that I can show you how to move from one slide to the next slide. So let's go into PowerPoint. So the first slide is going to last for 6 seconds. So the first slide, so in order for you to do this, you need to go into transition. So you go into transition. When you go into transition, you see, then you come all the way to advanced slide. When you come to advanced slide, you can see where it says after here. I've actually done it, so 6 seconds. So what I'm saying is, I want the presentation to move to the next slide after 6 seconds. So this is seconds, this is minutes, seconds, and microseconds. So I want this slide, or I want the presentation to move to the next slide after 6 seconds. If you put your mouse over you can see move to the next slide after a certain number of seconds. So I want this, so this particular slide is going to stay on the screen for the first 6 seconds, and then it will progress to the next slide after that 6 seconds. Remember, let's go back to our timing. So that's the first slide. You are done with the first slide. Then the next slide is from 7 seconds to the 14 seconds. So this particular slide is going to stay on screen for only 7 seconds. So what I like to do is come into PowerPoint, and then I'll first apply a transition to this particular slide. So in this case, the transition is just going to last for 1 second. So I gave it the push up transition. So let me just play it so that you can see what I'm saying. So it will have the push up transition, and then it is going to stay on screen for 7 seconds. So this slide is going to proceed to the next slide after 7 seconds. Are you getting the point? Then I'm going to apply a transition to this. So that is what I did there. So I'm going to apply a transition to the second slide, and then it will stay on screen for 7 seconds. So let's proceed to the next slide. So the next slide is slide number 3. It's going to stay on screen for 19 seconds. It's going to stay on screen for 19 seconds. So I'll go back again. Let's go back into PowerPoint. So I applied a 1 second transition to this, which is the wipe, and then it is going to stay. When you come down to the advanced slide, it will stay on the screen for 19 seconds. So move to the next slide. After a certain number of seconds. Again, this one is going to last on the screen for 19 seconds, and then it will transition from slide number 2 to slide number 3 using the wipe effect. So let me play it. So can you see that's the wipe effect, and then it will now stay on the screen for 19 seconds. Don't forget, I've actually planned this ahead of time using the voiceover script. So you need to plan the slide and the timing of your slide using the voiceover script. So it will last on the screen for 19 seconds, and then it will use the wipe transition. The same process is applicable to slide number 4. So slide number 4, let's see, slide number 4 is 9 seconds, which is from the 35th second to the 44th seconds. That's when you listen to the voiceover script. So 44 minus 35 will give you 9 seconds. So that means slide number 4 is going to last on the screen, or it's going to stay on the screen for only 9 seconds. So let's go back into PowerPoint now. Slide number 4. For slide number 4, I gave it the cover transition, and I want it to stay on screen for only 9 seconds. So let me play it again for you to see. So that's the cover transition, and then it will stay on the screen for 9 seconds. Let's move to the next slide. Slide number 5. Slide number 5 is going to last on the screen for 16 seconds, because if you listen to the voiceover script, or when I listened to the voiceover script, it was from the 45th second to 1 minute 1 second. So when you subtract that, 61 seconds. So 61 minus 45 gives you 16 seconds. So let's go back into PowerPoint again. I'll come here. In this case, I've not even given this any transition. So let me give it a transition. Let me give it a push-up transition, and then it will last. Let me see. So push-up transition, and then it will last for 1 second. And then this will stay on screen for how many seconds? It will stay on screen for 16 seconds. So I'll come here. After, I'll uncheck the on mouse. You have to uncheck that, and then set this to 16. So this slide is going to stay on screen for 16 seconds, and then I have applied the push transition effect to it, or push transition animation. So let me play this for you to see. I'm going to play, actually let me even play this first, and let me see how it works. So that's the push up. So it will move from slide number 4 to slide number 5 with a push up transition effect, and the slide is going to stay on screen for the next 16 seconds. So that is the 5 slide. The process is just the same. The process is the same, you can see. So you just keep repeating the same process one after the other until you get to the last slide. So in this case, for slide number 6, if I want to do it, it will be 1 minute, that's 60 plus 60 seconds plus 16, that's 76 seconds, and then we have that's 60, that's 62, so minus 62 seconds, so that's 14 seconds. So this particular slide will be on screen for 14 seconds, for 14 seconds. So that's slide number 6. I'll go into slide number 6. Slide number 6, let me give it a split transition. So that's the split transition there, and then I'll come all the way to the advanced slide. This will stay on screen for 14 seconds. Sorry. So it will stay on screen for 14 seconds. So, but I believe you've gotten the concept behind this. So you repeat the same process again. Let me play it. So that's the split, and then of course, so let me go back to the document again. So you can see the process. You just keep repeating same process all the way till you get to the end of the slide. So the step is, first listen to your voiceover script and plan the slide ahead of time all the way down to the last slide, and then you get the duration for each of the slide. So these are the duration for each slide. So you get the duration for each slide, and then you come into PowerPoint, go into the transition tab, and then apply some transition, and then use the advanced slide to set the duration for each of the slides. So let's go back to slide number 1. So this slide number 1, I'm going to play, I'm going to play the preview for you now, so you can see exactly what is happening. So let's go back. Let me go to the home tab, and then of course you can press F5. I'm going to keep quiet now so that you can see, the flow of the, the timing, the flow and the timing of the slide from and the transition. So you can see that you can actually use this particular process to create any kind of video, using VoiceOver script. So this is the first stage. So let me save the document. I'll save the document, then I'll do the preview. I'll press F5, and then you can listen.
Welcome to something new and refreshing for a change. It's Pro Studio FX. Let me tell you all about it. First of all, mark down the date and be ready, because we have a lot in store for you, and we absolutely don't want you to miss out on this promotion. Now, there's a huge demand, as you know, for digital media assets, such as marketing videos, graphics, and sounds. But Pro Studio FX was created not only to meet this demand, but to bridge the gap between the quality and simplicity for your customers. So, again, high quality, very simple to use. It's the most comprehensive, ultimate professional marketing, visual and sound FX bundle. Now, it's created with the utmost quality in mind. How is Pro Studio FX different? As one person said, and this is a testimonial, these aren't your typical everyday run-of-the-mill PowerPoint templates. The design is excellent. The animation far exceeds anything I've seen in any of the PowerPoint memberships that I belong to. Now, with Pro Studio FX, your customers will be able to create highly engaging marketing content that is outstanding. It will captivate their viewers in order to drive more traffic, leads, and sales for their businesses and that of their clients. 3 simple steps.
Okay, so you get the point. You can see I played the slide from slide number 1, and you can see the transition from the first slide, to the second slide, and then to the third slide, the fourth slide, the fifth slide, and the sixth slide. So again, the main work is for you to plan, the slide and the timing ahead of time. So once once you plan your slide and the timing ahead of time, then you can, easily determine the duration of each of the slides. So once you determine the duration of each of the slide, you come all the way into the transition tab here, apply a transition, and then come all the way down to advanced slide and make use of the after feature here, or the after setting. You need to uncheck the on mouse click, so because we want this to play automatically. So this is the way the entire thing works. It's actually very simple to understand. It's not difficult. So basically, very simple steps that you need to take. First, plan your slides using your voice over script. So you will listen to the voice over script, and then plan your slide and timing. Plan your slides and duration for each slide. So that's the first thing. Then number 2, go into the transition tab and pick a transition for the slide. Give it just 1 second transition. Then you go to the advanced slide and set the total duration for that particular slide. So basically these are the 2 most important steps. Now once you've done this, then you can now go back to your slide number 1 and then you can start playing with animation. You can go to animation tab and then you can start playing with setting different types of animation for different elements. So but don't forget the first slide, like it depends on how you've planned it. Like in this case for slide number 1, this is just going to be a 6-second slide, so that means your animation cannot be more than 6 seconds. So anything you do here, you just come in. Like in this case, I gave the welcome, the welcome text, I gave it a flying animation, and then you can just come here, apply. This will be with previous, and then you can set the duration here, the duration and delay for this particular element. You can repeat the same thing for the text. You can repeat the same thing for the logo as well. So you've gotten the point. So the first stage is to plan the slide, plan the slides and the timing and the duration for each of the slide. And then once you've done that, then you can now start animating your elements on each of the slide based on the total duration. So in this case, whatever animation I'm going to plan for slide number 1, it cannot be beyond 6 seconds. You repeat the same thing for slide number 2, it can't be beyond 7 seconds. So like the welcome here, I apply the flying animation, and then of course you need to set the animation to be with previous, so that it's going to play automatically. You don't need to click your mouse or anything for the animation to happen. So you set it to with previous, and then you can set the duration here. So I can set it to be 1 second. So that's the duration of the animation. That's how long it's going to take. Or let me just move my mouse. Specify the length of an animation. So that's how fast or how long it's going to take the animation to come on screen. So if you want it to be very, very fast, instead of setting seconds, you can set microseconds. So in this case, let me change this back to 0 and just change this to maybe 80 microseconds. And this is the delay. Play the animation after a certain number of seconds. In most cases for the animation, you just make use of the duration, especially when you've actually applied transition to the slides. So you just need to work with the duration and make sure you are using with previous for any of the animation. So the same thing, this one is going to last, this one will come, the duration for this will be 80 microseconds, and then you can repeat the same thing for this. This one is 50 microseconds, and then I set a delay for this one because you want this one to come to something new and refreshing. I want this text to come on screen after this one, after the welcome text comes into play. Are you getting the process? So this particular training is not about animation, it's about me showing you how you can actually plan your voiceover script and the background sound, how you can apply it to your entire slide. So you can see the way I've done it. The process is very simple and straight to the point, but a lot of people don't even know how to do this because most people don't realize that PowerPoint can actually, you can actually use PowerPoint, to create marketing videos in which you can use a voiceover script. So I believe you've seen how to do it. And again, don't forget, if you want a good voiceover script, if you want to create voiceover script, don't forget to check out Synthesys. for for creating real human voiceover. And of course, if you buy from this link, I'm going to get a small commission from the vendor. And of course, I use this commission to to create some of these tutorial videos and to create content for you. So I hope this training is going to be a very good one for you. You should be able to start creating marketing videos, with voiceovers for your different projects. So you don't even need to buy Camtasia or buy any of these expensive software. Just PowerPoint, just a little bit of planning and timing of your slides. You can easily use voiceover scripts and even layer it with animation in your marketing videos. Thank you guys again, and have a blessed day. Bye bye.